Black Widow. Natasha Romanoff confronts the darker parts of her ledger when a dangerous conspiracy with ties to her past arises, pursued by a force that will stop at nothing to bring her down. Natasha must deal with her history as a spy and the broken relationships left in her wake long before she became a Black Widow. Black Widow is screenplayed by Eric Pearson, co-story devised by Jack Schaefer and Ned Benson, and directed by Kate Shortland, starring Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff, Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova. Guys, welcome. If you're new here, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, all that nice googly glad blue, Mr. whatever. All right, so, man, where do we start with this? So, let's talk about the positives. The opening of the film is good, a good tone that's, you know, that captures, you know, this small fragment of how flawed Natasha is as a character, you know, with, you know, this kind of theme where she's never really had, you know, she's never felt at home because she's always been on the move, you know. There's never been this sense of stability with her character. So that opening, I was thrilled. I was really enjoying it. Apart from the fact of that editing mistake of of having Alexei on the side of the plane, but then we end up in another country. It's not explained how he was able to get off the side of the wing and get inside the aircraft, and we just see him walking on this new wherever we are. And it's like, all right, whatever, you know. I mean, minute editing error, but whatever, it is what it is. It's not like it took everything away from the film. Then we are then led by this great cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit, and that, you know, it shows the essence of the Red Room, the brainwashing process that's been undertaken there, and, you know, a level of cruelty that comes with Dreykov as the main, well, as one of the antagonists in the film. But I've seen a lot of people say, oh, it's the greatest opening a Marvel has ever done, and I have to say yes and no. And feel that opening is great, but me, in the way that I would have done it, I would have not actually shown Yelena and Natasha in that segment. I would have just shown other Black Widows, and then just started the movie going through the process of the Red Room from there on in. But obviously the movie didn't take that turn of events, and then we then go into the events of Civil War, and Natasha is on the run. And like I say, I like the idea of this is a character that is constantly on the run, and this is, you know, she's never been stable in one place. And we can see why then she has this attachment to, you know, the Avengers and most of the Marvel characters that we've seen throughout the Infinity Saga. And, you know, and I think, you know, I think the director, the writer, they've done good on that part there. And to add the character arc, the relationship between Yelena and Natasha, you know, Florence Pugh and Natasha's relationship, you know, that's what really kept my level of intrigue within this film and kept me interested. But other than that, the film really did not deliver. And I think that's quite sad to say for a movie that people have been clamoring for the last 9 to 10 years. And it's just pure down to the base of the film seriously lacks elements of character development, and it seriously lacks a good villain. like badly. And at times as well with this film, the tone is all over the place. You know, it's like with these Marvel films, whenever there's a serious kind of, you know, because really Black Widow as a film should be rated R. It should be rated R. You know, we're talking about emotional manipulation, physical manipulation. And to do that in a 12A, it just does not give the character any justice, you know. And yeah, the tone is just all over the shop. I mean, I could be here all day talking about the character development, and I'm going to have to do a second video just talking about that, because the level of mistakes are in this film. It's kind of like mind-boggling. You know, for a movie that's had anywhere between 100 and 200 million budget, it's kind of like, there's no excuse, man. There really isn't. If you have that amount of money and you can't play with those fundamentals of writing, like, come on, man. You know, you treat me like a chocolate biscuit at that stage. But yeah, the tone, I keep mentioning tone and I never say why it's bad, but it's like what Jeremy Johns said. It's like anything that is serious, it stops. We have to crack a joke now. We get to something serious again, we've got to crack a joke. And it rips you out of the film, you know. And when it does that, you don't really know what it's trying to be. Because like in the beginning, it's got this dark tone and then we're cracking jokes. It's like, well... But I had no idea why Alexi's character went from this serious guy in the beginning to then cracking jokes near the end. Like, why would he be cracking jokes after, you know, after being in prison for so many years? You know, it's like, wouldn't he be like that in the beginning? And then when he leaves prison, he's not the same person anymore, and he's subdued and galvanized and rough around the edges. What's going on? Like, and the same thing for, I forget her name, Rachel Weisz's character. You know, it's like, this woman has the nerve to say, oh, you know, Natasha, don't slouch at the dinner table, when the woman has been, God knows where. This is meant to be a mum. And now it's like, in my head, it's like, I'm thinking to myself, think about how much the character's gone through. And then somebody's like, oh, well, you know, they're trying to, you know, babysit you kind of thing. You know, my version, my dark version, you know, for how flawed of a character Natasha is, it's like, there were so many times in this film, I just wanted to bounce Alexi's head off the table. And I wanted to bounce Rachel Weisz's character head off the table as well, because it was that annoying and not flushed out to any degree. And the same thing can be said for Taskmaster as well. So like I say, there's going to be a part 2, because then you can get a fully understanding of why I dislike this film. Not that I dislike it, but it should have been so much more better. And my rating for Black Widow is a 5.5. And it's sad, but it's just how it made me feel. So guys, put your comments down below. What did you think of Black Widow? I'll be very interested to hear what you've got to say. And like, comment, subscribe. Click here if you want to see more videos. I'll see you in the next one.